Hey guys, my name is Taki. Today I'm gonna interview Indian people. What's it like living in Japan as Indian? Actually, there are many Indians in my neighborhood. That's why it made me be interested in asking. So this video is mainly for Indian people, but I think it's also informative even if you are not from India, like another country. So yeah, try to watch it and I hope you like it. Okay, so let's watch the video. Okay, so thank you for your time. What brought you to Japan?
University.
University?
Yeah.
Like, are you exchange student?
No. I came to Japan 7 years ago actually.
7 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
I came from my undergraduate study.
Huh?
So I did my undergraduate and then I waited for 1 year because it was COVID. So I didn't want it to start right away. And now I'm a master second year student.
Oh my god! What's your major?
Environmental sciences.
Oh my god! You look really smart, right?
Maybe.
Okay, but so you're still student, so you're not
Yeah.
working.
No, not yet.
So like, are you going to work here or?
I'm applying for PhD and also doing the job hunting,
Mhm.
the shukatsu. Yeah,
Shukatsu.
job hunting. Yeah.
Okay, apply to Japanese company or?
Yeah, Japanese company and as well as like other companies in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
So, because my Japanese is not very good,
Uh-huh.
so but also I want to work with all other like other countries as well, especially like developing countries, because I'm from India.
Mhm.
So I want to come work in an international company.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good. So you can use English and you don't need to use Japanese. So it's more.
Yeah, I think that's more easy for me to work.
Uh-huh.
Like I can talk in Japanese, but for working I need English.
So you live here for 7 years, right?
Yes.
So what's it like living in Japan as an Indian?
As an Indian, it's getting better and better because now you have a lot of Indian shops, and especially like you can buy street food here now, so it's getting better. Yeah, in the starting it was quite hard, and I couldn't get like all the ingredients, but now I can. So, and also as an Indian, I think every time you tell someone that I'm an Indian, they think like I'm very smart and I'm good at maths.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm not a good example because I am good at maths, so maybe that stereotype is true for me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you have Japanese friends here?
Yes, I have a lot
Okay,
of them.
so like when you hang out with them, you try to use Japanese more, or?
I think it's when I try to hang out with Japanese friends, for me, after living 7 years, it's easier to talk in Japanese because sometimes they have more difficulty than thinking in English than me thinking in Japanese. So, yeah, I think I do use Japanese with them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's complicated to.
Yeah, then we use Google Translator.
Google Translate. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Only for a word, because Google Translator is not very good.
Okay. What's the good or positive part and bad or negative, difficult part to live in Japan?
I think the good part is for living in Japan, one of the best part is it's more secure. And like I can go for so I am a research student right now, master's research. So sometime at like 2 a.m. I'm working and like I want to take a walk, so I can go outside anytime. I don't have to worry about things. And also like it's very convenient. So if I go out at 2 and I want to eat something, there is convenience store.
Yeah.
Within 1 kilometer. 1 kilometer is maybe too much. Maybe within 500 meters there is a convenience store. So that is one of the best. And also like organization. So it's everything is organized. Yeah, bad part I would say is maybe the administration part, because it takes time, and for as a foreigner, not even just Indian but as a foreigner, because some things the laws are made for Japanese, not foreigners. So some of the laws does not make sense to me and I have to abide by it. So that's I think the bad part for me, because it does not apply to me but I have to follow it anyway. And because that I have like faced some difficulties in general. Yeah.
Do you have any advice for Indian people who want to come to Japan, or foreigner who wants to come to Japan?
Learn Japanese. I think Japanese is important because especially when you are living in Tokyo, you don't need it. But if you go for traveling around Japan in inaka place, like countryside places, you need Japanese. Yeah, people don't understand English, so like it's same for any other country as well. Like if you go to countryside, people are not that educated in other languages. So yeah, you need Japanese. So I think that's something I should have done when I was coming to Japan. So,
Okay.
yeah.
お時間ありがとうございました。Thank you for your time.
はい。
Thank you for your help. First of all, what brought you to Japan?
Basically, I was working in India for one IT company, and they have some project going on over here. So my boss asked me to come here, so I just came.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you wanted to come here?
Well, I had never planned, actually, to be honest. I was planning to go US initially, but my boss asked me, okay, can you go for like 6 months?
Okay, 6 months.
Yeah, and then I say, okay, yeah, then sure. Then I came for 6 months, and now it's almost like 8.5 years.
18.
8.5 years.
8.5 years. Wow. Oh my god. So
Yeah.
you seem like you like living in Japan now.
Yeah, I mean, like, first 6 months, then he asked me for more some time, and then that way, 2-3 years passed, and then after some time COVID came.
Okay.
During that time I was planning to move some another country, but COVID came, and then again I stayed back. But yeah, overall I really like staying in Japan.
Do you have Japanese friends?
Very, very little, like maybe
do-
like couple of or three.
Do you think having Japanese friend is difficult?
I mean, it's not difficult, but definitely the frequency is a bit different than probably like Indian, definitely.
Yeah.
So we initially it's a bit difficult, but once you able to understand, okay, what they like and what their custom is, I think it's fine to kind of make friends in Japan.
Okay. As an Indian, what's it like living in Japan?
So first thing is always the food for Indian, right? So it's a bit difficult for us to have. So when I came to Japan, I was vegetarian.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was vegetarian for 1.5 years, but after that, it was quite difficult to, whenever I go out, it's quite difficult to eat outside. And after 1.5 years, I thought, okay, it's time to change,
Yeah.
So I started eating chicken and fish, that's all. But apart from that, it's still the problem with the food, because a bit different food. So I do eat Japanese food, but not really often.
What's the positive or good things and negative or bad things, hard things to live in Japan?
So positive is like it's really safe.
Oh yeah.
Really safe. This many years I never felt. Never really felt scared in the night as well. Because generally many times I used to take last train. When I go on weekend somewhere, so I generally take last train, which generally reaches around 1 a.m. to my stop. But I never bothered to look back, or who is coming, or something like that. So I never really felt like that. So Japan really, heads up to Japan for their security purpose. Really good.
Today I came to you.
Yeah. No. Generally, sometimes people generally they talk and all, but I never felt insecure,
Yeah.
So really, I mean, that's really a proud thing for Japan.
Yeah.
Well, negative part, I'm not sure, but hard thing, definitely a language.
Oh yeah.
A language is definitely a bit difficult part, and obviously the food. Yeah, so definitely food is somewhat you can manage, but language is something, if you learn really quick, it's quite easy to mingle with everybody. But sometimes a lot of important information is in Japanese, let's say earthquake information,
Yeah.
So I think like last few months ago there were some I was living in Yokohama, and there was some I don't know, maybe like a false alarm over the night many times, and all is in Japanese. So I don't know, is it really emergency or no, that. But I slept, So those kind of information, if like a local ward office or somebody can try to help. I mean, try to do it in English, then it's really helpful.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's something.
Have you ever experienced like discrimination or racism, things like that? For example, my foreign friends told me like when he sit on the train, nobody sit next to him, or when
Initially it was happened with me also a few times, but I don't know, now I don't feel like that. Always my seat is always somebody's there next to me. So initially, or maybe few years ago, it was happening. So few times I felt like that, but then I was like, okay, maybe I can have more space. So I just took it in a positive way, and somebody's coming, and so I was not bothering to go like this, because I know nobody's gonna sit next to me.
Okay.
So I was just relaxing, and But now these days I don't see like people generally just straight away see the seat. They do just come and sit. They don't bother to see around. I see there is no much difference now.
Okay. Do you have any advice for foreigner or Indian people who want to visit or live in Japan?
If you have a long-term plan to stay here, immediately start preparing your Japanese. Study, talking Japanese in office, go outside with friends and speak Japanese. Start doing your Japanese slowly. That is gonna help you really nicely. Obviously the food, it depends on the nationality, so I think it's fine. But yeah, Japanese thing, and Japanese culture is a bit different. I mean, not in a bad way, but like Indians culture is really friendly. Like you can just go and talk with anybody, no matter, almost like that. But in Japan it's a bit not so like that. So if you happen to come Japan, just go through some YouTube videos, some things, so you will be much familiar and you will not feel so different after coming here. So many people came recently, some Indian friends, they feel sometimes lonely and this and that, but I generally say, oh man, you came to the right place. Just enjoy your life, because here a lot of different things. You anyway go, someday you're gonna go somewhere, maybe English speaking country, so here is a chance for you to kind of explore Japanese culture, learn Japanese, know different people. So it's a chance for you. So don't think, oh I don't know Japanese, it's a difficult, just don't sit in the house, just go out, try to talk with people, explore the culture, the onsen, all these things. So that's my advice for the foreigners.
Okay, so thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you so
nice
much.
meeting
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you for your time. How long have you been in Japan?
15 years.
15. Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah.
So you can speak Japanese fluently, right?
I can speak Japanese,
Okay.
but I wouldn't say I'm fluent, but because I work in various companies, and most of the companies I work were international, where people from many countries are there, and we used to speak in English only.
So you usually use English at
Yeah.
your company?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, but you can speak Japanese.
Yes, I can speak
without
Japanese.
problem.
Yes, I can
to
speak.
communicate.
Yeah.
What's it like living in Japan as an Indian people?
Japan is convenient, so every country has a positive and negative, right? I would say Japan is much more convenient than other countries. Infrastructure is good, people are really nice,
Oh yeah.
and I'm not sure, I never faced any racism, so I think, and it is safe as well.
Oh
So,
really? You
yeah.
never experienced that?
No.
So I have some foreign friends, but when he sit on the train, nobody sit next to him. Or
So yes, it is a minor stuff. I believe every foreigner has to go through that phase. I also had that kind of experience, but at least no one was shouting or anything. So that I would say it's good and safe at least.
I mean, and you can get your space, right?
Yeah. So
this is for my space.
yeah, getting a space in the train, it's a good thing
Cool, right?
here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah. You're very positive.
I don't complain
You're
about
very
that.
Positive, nice. Cool. What is the positive or good things and bad or negative things to live in Japan?
Maybe it is a cultural thing, but people don't open up with the foreigners generally. It's totally opposite to what I experience in US or in India, right? And the other thing is a language. Language is at least for me it's a difficult, because in day-to-day life it's okay if you are not communicating with any Japanese people, you can survive. Because most of the time you don't need to speak, right? But in critical conditions, if you are ill, you need to visit a doctor or you need to go to hospital. At that time, language issue comes, and many people face trouble.
Okay. Do you have any advice for Indian people who want to visit or live in Japan?
Japan is a good place to live, to work as well, because nowadays, when initially I came to Japan, it was very difficult to find a companies where Japanese is not mandatory skill for work. But nowadays there are many companies in Japan even that they don't require Japanese language skill, particularly in software and IT area. So I would say like it may not be that much difficult now to work here, but yes, we still need to learn Japanese because of like in critical situations like visiting a doctors. That having a Japanese language skill is mandatory. Yes, I would say.
Thank you so much for watching. That was interesting. As I told you, there are many Indian people living in my neighborhood, but I've never talked with them. So also for me, it was very interesting and fun to talk with them. I hope this video is gonna be informative for you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video. Adios.